some so y'all can see me. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be kind of like a life update, and I feel like that there's a few things that I want to talk about in this video. I don't know if anybody cares to know, but I feel like that it's good for me to have and document this just so that I can always go back and look at this video at a later date, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so yeah, life update. All right, so the very first thing that I want to talk about is why I haven't been vlogging, and it's a combination of different things of why I haven't been vlogging, but the number one thing why I haven't been vlogging is because I really haven't been up to it, and I'll talk about later in the video what's really going on and all this other stuff like that. But I really haven't been up to it, and I really don't like to force myself to vlog, if you know what I mean, because it's not authentic. And I feel like that once it gets to a point where I'm forcing myself to do it, then that means that I don't need to do it. That's the reason why I just don't vlog, because I don't want to force myself to do it. Because vlogging is fun for me. I don't want it to ever be not fun. So when it becomes feeling like, oh, I got to vlog today, that means that I just need to take a break. And so that's what I did. All right, so number two that I want to talk about is my job. Now, y'all, I don't know who watches my channel, to be completely honest. The only people that I know that watch my channel are the people that actually comment on the videos. So I don't get that many comments on my videos, but I do get more views than I get comments, if you know what I mean. So I don't know who's watching my video. So like, I don't want to go into too much detail concerning my job, just because I still work there and I still need a paycheck, you know what I mean. But basically what I'm trying to get at is that my job brings me a lot of stress, and when I go to work, I don't want to be there. I'm sitting there 9-10 hours a day, like pissed that I'm there. Like, I don't want to be there at all. And when I get off work, it's kind of hard to get myself out of that funk. Like, I'll just be really pissed off. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm kind of like snapping on people and stuff. And so that has been another reason why I haven't been vlogging, because most of the vlogging would be when I come home from work. And most of the times I have a bad attitude when I get off work because of like the negative energy that I get while I'm at work, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna just say it like this. It's so much negative energy at my job. It's affecting me, even though I'm not even the one that the negative energy is geared towards, if that makes sense. So like, if it's people around you that are feeding off of negative energy and talking about it all day and all that other stuff, and even though you're not in that loop, but you can hear it all day long, just that negative, the negative talking, the negative energy and stuff, I feel like that it can affect you. And it does affect me. Like, it makes my days harder when I go to work, when I'm surrounded by negative people and negative energy. It's just really hard for me to function like that, especially when I already don't want to be at work from jump, you know. So that just makes my days a little bit harder. And so like, some days when I go to work and I get off, I wonder how in the hell did I get through the work day. Like, I promise, like, I'll sit there and I'll be like, how the hell did I get through the work day, or even the work week, with how stressful it is for me being at work. I know that my job brings me a lot of stress, and so I try my best to try to find another job to get myself away from that, because I want to free myself from that. And it stresses me out because I have been looking for a job. I've been actively looking for a job for 2 years, y'all. For 2 years. 2 years straight. And we're not even going to count, well, yes, we're gonna count that too. So basically, let's back up. So the job that I'm currently working right now, I've been working there for, let's say, 7 years, right? So I started back in 2010. I know you're thinking like, that's 8 years, girl, but listen. All right, so I started back in 2010 and my job was straight. Never had any problems. It wasn't up until like 2013, 2014 where I started to be like, this ain't for me. Like, this is too much. Like, when you working somewhere and you doing everything that you're supposed to do, you going above and beyond, what you're supposed to do. And then when your evaluation comes and you say, I did this, but when they giving out raises and stuff, they be like, but you did this wrong, so we can't give you a raise. And so basically I took that as
your broke ass home. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and get back to work.
I'm being taken advantage of because you want me to work at this level, but you're not paying me at that level, if you get what I'm saying. So ever since then, about around 2013, my work level went down to where I feel like it needs to be. So like, I really got pissed off about that. So that's when I started to start my job search around 2013. Y'all, I looked for a job for over a year. Like, I just couldn't find anything that fits me well. A type of work environment that I would like to work in, and a type of job that I wouldn't mind doing, and the pay will keep lights on and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't find a job until 2014, where I decided that I was gonna quit because I had found a job, but it wasn't the type of job that I wanted, but I wanted to try it out. And it was working in a call center. Now, I know that there are people that actually know me personally that watch my channel, know that I'm not like a really big people person. I hate call centers with a passion. I hate them, okay? I really hate call centers with a passion. And I decided to, go ahead and take that leap. I might like it. I've never did it before, but I just knew, like, in my soul, in my spirit, I just knew that a call center wasn't for me. So when I quit the current job that I have right now, when I quit back in 2014, I went to work in a call center. Well, that call center brought more stress on me than I thought that it would ever bring on me, because I was bringing work home. Like, I was really taking these people insults and stuff personally every single day. And so I knew that, hey, this is not for me either. So, to make a long story short, I ended up back at the place that I worked before. So I've been back there since 2015. And so, y'all, this was supposed to be temporary. It was supposed to be temporary. It was only because some things happened that required me to find work. And the only place that I knew that I could go was back to my old job. And it was only supposed to be temporary at the time. And so I've been looking for a job for 2 going on 3 years, y'all. And it brings me so much stress, because if you ever been on like a job search and you really looking for a job and there's nothing coming your way, you feel like that the universe is working against you. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, sometimes, like, I come home and I just be crying and stuff, and Steve be like, what is wrong? And I'm like, everything is wrong. Like, I feel like that the universe is working against me, because I feel like if you really listen to the story that I told you about just a second ago, I haven't had a stress-free work environment in almost 10 years, y'all. Like, all I want is to be able to work a stress-free job. I want to not mind getting up in the morning going to work, because at this point, y'all, I drag my ass out the bed every day to go to work. I never call in to work. I might be late only because I'm dragging my ass to get there. But like, I just sit and I think sometimes, like, this is not how I want to live. This is not what I pictured myself doing, like working this job where I feel like I've hit a glass ceiling. And when I look through the ceiling, it don't even look like something that I would want anyway. And it puts me in a really bad, dark place, because all I want is to be happy. And I really hate saying that I'm not happy, because there's a lot of things in my life that make me happy. But as far as like work is concerned, because I spend 80% of my day at work, I spend 20% at home, and 10% of that I'm asleep, if you get what I'm saying. So like, it really pisses me off. And I done got to the point where I don't even know what else to do. I've been applying for jobs. I've been applying here, applying there. I've had interviews places, and I just can't seem to get away from this place. And I say it all the time because I left this job and I went somewhere else, and it didn't even work out for me, and I landed back at the place where I was trying to get away from in the first place. And I feel like that sometimes I feel like I'm being punished. I feel like that just the universe is just working against me. It's like I'm not bound to be happy, and that's all I want. I just want to be happy, and I can't seem to get a hold of that. So that's what's been going on with my job. And I really haven't talked about it on my channel. I know that a lot of people notice, like when I do vlog, when I'm on my way to work, I always say, I'm on my way to work, don't want to go. I'm headed to work, I don't want to go. Y'all, I really think that I'm in the 9-to-5 sunken place. And y'all know I don't like my job. Y'all know I don't like it. Y'all know I don't like being there. And I really don't want to go to work. But I never want to go to work, so that's nothing new. Yeah. So the next thing that I want to talk about, and that's the reason why I told you everything that I said about my job, because I wanted to go into this topic as well. I wanted to talk about my mental health. And I'm really going to say this. Nobody knows about this except for Steve. And I feel like that it's very therapeutic. I feel like that it's therapeutic for me to go ahead and talk about this and let people know about it. I would say back in October, was it October or September? One of those months, October or September, I found myself like, I was like really in a dark place because of my job situation. And my job was affecting me, and it was affecting me so deeply that I didn't want to go anywhere, y'all. I didn't want to go anywhere. I would lock myself in the house. On the weekends, I barely hang out with my friends anymore because I just don't have the energy to do it. Like, I just really just spend most of my time at home doing absolutely nothing. I spend most of my time at home just doing nothing. And then that's when I decided that I was going to pick up this part-time job to make a little extra money, but also to get myself out the house, you know. So yeah, I did that. And around September, October-ish, I decided that I needed a therapist because my job was affecting me that bad where I needed to find something. Like, I couldn't get away from my job, but I needed some way to relieve this stress or find techniques or a solution to my problem. I don't know exactly where I'm trying to get at, but I just felt the need to talk to somebody. And so I did. I found me a therapist, and I have been talking to my therapist. Well, I have been talking to my therapist every single day, except for on the weekends since then. And basically what she was telling me is that my job is the common denominator in my problems. So, my job is what's keeping me stressed. And I need to find a way to get away from it, because I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and anger problems. Have all three of those, which I already knew except for the depression part. I didn't think that I really had depression issues, but apparently I do. And I guess you can probably tell from the little story I told you about my whole job and me being in a dark place and all that other stuff like that. So yeah. Which when she told me that I needed to go to my primary care physician and get medication for like an antidepressant, and I told her, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. All right. Never fails. Steve always texts me on phone when I'm recording. But anyway, I was telling her, no, I don't want to be on medication because I know the problem that I have. Like, I know that my job brings me stress. I know that my job makes me mad. I know all of that. But I can't seem to get away from this place. That's my problem. Like, how can I get away from here? Like, how? Like, I tried to fill out job applications and stuff like that to find me a new job, but it never follows through. It never follows through. Like, I don't know what else I need to do. Like, I'm not gonna, just quit my job and just be like, forget y'all, you know what I'm saying? Which sometimes I really have to stop myself from doing it, because y'all, sometimes I'll be on my lunch at work and I get in my car and I be on my car on my phone. I just want to crank it up and just go and never come back and be like, F this, like, especially when they piss me off and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, anger problems. Yay. But I haven't told anybody about that because I felt like that it was something that I need to work within myself. The only person I told was Steve, of course, because he lives with me. So, well, he knows that I talk to a therapist. And I really felt like, especially with me and Steve getting married soon, I felt like that I really need to work on myself before we actually, come together as one. I need to work on me. And that was another reason why I wanted to go ahead and start therapy, because I have a lot of issues going on apparently that I need fixed. But yeah. So, another thing that I also wanted to talk about as well, and all these things kind of tie together because I don't know if anyone has ever felt like stuck, like completely stuck. You feel like you can't go, you can't move and do this, you can't move and do that. Like, you just pretty much just stuck where you are in life. And that's where I kind of feel like right now. I feel like that I'm filling out job applications for jobs and I can't seem to get it, so I can't go that route. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you would know that I graduated from college, from a 2-year college in 2016. I have 2 degrees and I have a certificate.
Alexandria Nicole.
You better work it out, girl.
So, those 2 degrees and the certificate are worth absolutely nothing. And it kind of stresses me out because I feel like that when I graduated, I couldn't really be happy about it. Like, it took a lot out of me to actually get excited about graduating, because I felt like that the degrees that I was getting really couldn't move me out of the space that I was in. Basically, I do a lot of research when I get at work, because this is another thing that kind of stresses me out at work. Since I've been working this particular position for all these years, I can pretty much do my job without thinking. I don't have to think when I do my job, which leaves a lot of time for me to sit in my thoughts. And I think that's another reason why I started to get really upset when I'm at work, because I'm sitting in my thoughts all day and I'm working at the same time, but I'm not really thinking about the work because I could do the work without even thinking. And when I'm there, I try to research a few things because I'm trying to find my way out. I'm trying to find my way out. Like, I want a change in my life. Like, let's switch gears, because this is not it. And I try to do a lot of research about associate's degrees and stuff like that, and what type of jobs can I get with my associate's degrees. But everything that I find online is either something that I'm not interested in, or jobs that don't really pay well. Because I was looking at like different pays and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, that's less than what I'm making right now, so what's the point, you know? So yeah, that kind of stresses me out too. And then the reason why I brought that up is because the next topic that I want to talk about is school. And it's kind of like I have I kind of fight with myself when it comes to school. And the only reason why I fight with myself so much is because as soon as I graduated high school, I went to a 2-year college. And I went there not really knowing exactly what I wanted to major in. But long story short, y'all done changed my major probably like 7 times. And I don't have anything to show for it except for 2 basic associate's degrees and a certificate. So I felt like that at this point in my life, I don't want to waste any more money going to school, because I've spent way too much money going to school, especially just going to school aimlessly. And I feel like that I should have waited until I was like in my mid-20s before I started going to school, because I felt like that if I would have waited until then, I would have had enough time to, you know, think about exactly what field I wanted to go in and what type of job I wanted to do, and have like a game plan of how I was going to go through school. That way I wouldn't, you know, accumulate so much debt going into school. But I didn't do that, only because I didn't know. When I was around 18 years old, I just kept switching my major, taking classes. Nah, I don't like this. Kept switching my major. Nah, I don't like that. And so I got to a point where I was thinking, maybe school is not for me. And sometimes I still do think that way, because like I'm a really, really creative person. And the only reason why I know that is when I started doing my YouTube videos and making thumbnails and editing videos and stuff like that. It came natural to me. Nobody taught me how to do this stuff. Like, it just came natural. And then like sometimes I have to step back and think, like, because I always wonder, like, for example, like for my my thumbnails for my videos and stuff like that. Like, the thumbnails, they're simple to make. Like, the hardest part of me making a thumbnail for my video is actually trying to think of how I want the thumbnail to look. That's the hardest part. But putting together the thumbnail, it takes me probably around 5 to 10 minutes flat just to put it together. And so like, when I see other people actually giving me compliments and asking me, how do you do that and stuff like that, I never really thought about it, because it was all so simple for me to do. And the more and more compliments that I get on the stuff that I create myself, where if it's like the videos that I create or like the thumbnails that I create and stuff like that, it makes me think that I'm more creative than I give myself credit for. And that's when I started to think, well, is school even for me? Because I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, when I go to school, I feel dumb. Like, I feel completely dumb. Dumb. Do you hear me? Dumb. like school just, it go, especially like I'm in like science classes and stuff, right over my head. And I started to think like, okay, if school isn't for me, what is for me? And then that's back in 2014, I started my own business. And the business, it was good. It like I was really making progress with my business and stuff like that, but my passion for it wasn't there. And I had switched jobs at the time in 2014, and I could no longer fund it, so I had to end it. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, I know that's what I want to do, because I don't like working for anybody, because I'm very rebellious when it comes to following rules that other people have for me to do. If I feel like that it doesn't make sense, then I won't do it. So I was like, okay, so what can I do? Like, if I don't like school, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know what I want to start a business with. What am I gonna do? Like, that's the problem that I was running into. And so I was telling my therapist about that. I was telling her I got to a point where I just don't know what to do. And so she was like, well, she had me take all these tests and stuff like that to figure out exactly my personality type and what type of jobs would fall in that personality type and all this other stuff like that, which was okay and cool, but some of those jobs didn't interest me at all. And so I had to just really think. And then once I got my lighting kit, these lights right here, once I got those for my Secret Santa. Oh, y'all, she got me a light kit. Oh. I started to take like pictures and stuff all the time. And I started to edit the pictures. And then I was like, this is kind of fun, you know? And my mama was telling me, she was like, maybe you need to become a photographer. And I was like, well, I never really thought about becoming a photographer. Like, I never had any interest in becoming a photographer. I just like taking pictures. And so I've been doing my research on that. I don't know. And then I had got to a point where I was like, okay, I want to go to school to learn about video editing and animation and all that other stuff like that. Like, I came to this conclusion probably like 2 weeks ago. And then I started looking online to see, you know, schools and stuff that offered the classes that I was into. Like, when I was looking at the classes, and it was like lighting, and it was like photography, and it was video editing, and it was audio stuff, and animation, cartoon creating, and all that other stuff like that. I was like, those sound like really, really interesting. And then I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, are you looking into this because you like making YouTube videos, or are you looking into this because you actually want to work for a company doing this every single day? And I really don't know. Like, I can't answer that question. I don't know exactly which one it is. I don't know if it's because I just want to do it as a hobby or what. So yeah, that's the problem with school at this point. So, and it was really crazy because when I came to the conclusion that that's what I wanted to do, it's kind of like the universe was working against me again, because school had already started for that semester and late registration was about to be up. And I was like, okay, I can still register for these classes because late registration wasn't until like the next week or so. But when I was looking at the classes that I wanted to take, it was like the classes didn't fall at the time that I could take them, and the classes that I wanted to take, they were already full. And I'm like, okay, so is this a sign saying that, okay, no, you don't need to go to school? Like, is this a sign telling me that, or what? I didn't know. And so, yeah, that's what I've been running into with school. And it's actually been stressing me out, too.